Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a build guide for the DAWNSTAR'S Necromancy spells mod. We'll be using the Necromancer wizard. Now the thing I love most about this spell mod is the fact that it comes with so many unique VFX and they all look incredible. So I'll be showcasing all of that in this video as well as making you a build guide for it. Now, DAWNSTAR'S Necromancy spells comes with 3 cantrips and 11 spells for the Bard, Warlock, Sorcerer, Cleric, Eldritch Knight, and Wizard spell list. The 3 cantrips that we do get are Pain Puppet here doing 1d6 piercing and necrotic damage, summoning a dull Woven and Dark Magic. Stab it and harms a target of your choice. If you have Blood Offering, you inflict bleed. And targets with more than half of its health points take 1d4 damage instead of the 1d6. We also got the Bone Dust Tongue doing 1d4 necrotic, Inhale Curse Smoke, affecting up to 3 targets, prevents healing, and if the targets have Pluck Life, you regain half the health back as health points. And then we also have the Pluck Life here, which is a bonus action, so you'd set these up, obviously. And bonus, this will make it so that you recover 1d4 of healing whenever the target goes down, if it's from necrotic damage. So that's why you want to use this spell here. We also get the Witch's Spill here doing a 2d6, drop a Beating Heart into the cauldron brimming with necrotic brew, and it'll erupt, causing disadvantage on constitution saving throws, which is pretty huge, and disadvantage on attack rolls. So you're more likely to break concentrations, and also they're less likely to hit you. And then there's the Seance here, which is 2d8 necrotic damage. Initiate a seance to conjure a malevolent spirit to hurl it towards a target. When the spirit weaves around obstacles or reaches target, on a failed saving throw, the target becomes haunted, attacks against it of advantage, and its movement speed is halved. I also think it's good to throw in the shield, magic missile, thunder wave's nice for the pushback, and then we'll take the Raven here from the Fine Familiar. For our ability score spread, if you got the hags here, take it to 17, otherwise we go 16. I think it's a good choice to go with higher dexterity due to how powerful dexterity and initiative is in this game, so a stat spread of something like this could work well, although you can swap dex and con. We'll be taking the Necromancer Wizard, which gives you 3 times the spell level back if it's a Necromancer spell that takes out the enemy. So if you do a level 6 spell, it's 18 health back. And we also have the Staff of Cherished Necromancy to cast those spells for free. And if it's a normal spell that you use, not a Necromancy one, it'll give you 2 times the spell's level back as health points. We'll also take Mage Armor, I guess, here, and then False Life, just because it's a Necromancy spell to make sense here. And we'll prepare the following spells there. I like to have all these spells equipped at all times if possible. And then for our level 2 spells here, we got the Soul Prison. This gives you 10 temporary health points from using a body that's been depleted, basically, a dead body there. And the Prism Shatters releases essence to heal allies in 3 meters for 2 to 16 healing. So this is a healing spell. And then we also have the Blood Offering. Sacrifice a portion of your blood, taking 2 to 8 necrotic damage. Melee attackers within 3 meters who deal physical damage to take the same amount of damage once per turn. Pretty powerful. Just use your bonus, or use your action. And you gain a spell, Death Dagger, as well from using this. And we'll equip that spell there. We had to take another cantrip too. I'd recommend Toll the Dead. Mage Hand's nice too to throw health potions or Bone Chill. And then for the next level spells, I would recommend Scorching Ray and Hold Person, which are 2 very powerful spells. And for our feat, I would recommend an Intelligence boost or the Alert feat. Once we hit level 5, we get one of the best spells in the game, a Counterspell. And I also like to take Lightning Bolt or Fireball. Although Fireball is a little bit risky because it can set fire surfaces. And I guess Lightning Bolt can create lightning water too, so it's your choice there. I personally prefer Lightning Bolt, but we're going to make sure that we do. I guess we should take our spells here. So we got the Death Ray, which does a 3d8 necrotic, channeling a beam woven from the Death's Echo. If the target dies, the ray split to strike another enemy. Targeting a corpse leaves it untouched, but its lingering essence amplifies the ray, erupting towards a nearby enemy, dealing 6 to 48 necrotic damage. So I guess we'll take that instead. And Soul Bomb. Hurl a necrotic infused corpse that explodes on impact in a 3 meter radius, and again at the start of your next turn, dealing 3 to 24 necrotic damage to all enemies within 3 meters. Pretty crazy. I'm just going to take Counterspell here for the first level, and then we'll take the Death Ray on the next level. Level 6 gives us our better undead summoning, so that we can summon undeads and create 2 bodies at a time, which just further enhances our overall combat capabilities. And I guess we'll take Lightning Bolt there. And for prepared spells, I'm always going to try and take all of these if possible, just for the theme. Level 7 gives us the Mortalis Aeterna here. Soul crystals surround a fresh corpse in 2 meter radius, while inside you gain maximum healing and necrotic resistance, and enemies attacking you have disadvantage on their attack rolls. Pretty huge. And then Storm of Souls here. Each round the storm surges, dealing 4 to 32 necrotic damage and making targets maimed, which reduces their movement speed to 0. While inside the storm you get resistance to necrotic, ignore necrotic resistance with your attacks, or the radiant resistance, and you cannot be frightened. So it's pretty cool, and the animations for this look really, really nice. So yeah, can't say enough good things about this class mod. For our next level, I like to take the Minor Elementals. More summons just fit right, and Ice Storm is one of the most useful spells at level 4 because you can control a huge area. And we'll take our increase to the overall intelligence here, or again, Alert feat can work well. Once we get to level 9, we get access to level 5 spells, and they also look really cool with Gravebinder. Enemies that fail a saving throw become Gravebound. They temporarily lose a quarter of the health points and have a disadvantage on attack rolls, and attack rolls against them have advantage. When they die, the killer gets 2 to 16 health points and gains advantage on their next attack rolls, which is crazy, for 3 turns too. Death Merge here, target up to 4 creatures. The Necrotic Rift opens up below each one. The corpse's decayed matter is consumed to forge a spectral skeleton that raises a fight for you. This one also looks really cool. And we'll prepare the following spells here. The Necromancer Wizard also gets the resistance to necrotic damage, and you can't have your health point maximum reduced, so that's good. I guess we'll take Bone Chill or Firebolt there for our next cantrip. Mage Hand also being really useful. And I like to just have the elementals and Cone of Cold for really good damage. Undead, Cold, they kind of go hand in hand. Level 11 will give us another new spell here with the Final Offering, which has a few different choices. It's actually really crazy. So after sacrifice, you collapse only 1 health point for 3 turns until you pull your essence back together. You can't move, and everyone's going to attack you. So this is something you only want to use as like a last resort, but it's crazy powerful. And then we can also take something like Odaluk's Freezing Sphere or Chain Lightning there, which are 2 really powerful damage spells. And we'll throw on the Final Offering there as a really, really powerful spell. And for the final level, I like Odaluk's Freezing Sphere. And you can go back and take some of the spells you didn't grab earlier, like Fireball or Circle of Death, which is probably our best damage option in all honesty. If we're using the Staff of Cherished Necromancy, this does a huge area of effect attack, which is really nice to have. Now, we can only have so many level 6 spell slots, so I'm going to take off my favorite Chain Lightning in favor of something else here. And for the final feat, Alert, we want to move first. So if you want to go to level 20, you could then use something like the Death Domain Cleric, which will make your attacks ignore resistance to necrotic damage at level 6. And then you can put some points into like Sorcerer at the start to give yourself Constitution Saving Throw proficiency, or Tempest Cleric to give your... Or you could instead go with the Tempest Cleric if you want heavy armor, or even a single level dip in the Ranger can give you heavy armor as well. The armor set here is the Kiss of the Scourge, but I'll be showing you actual base game armor. Now as for gear, since it's a modded build, I'm not going to go too in-depth on it, but Hood of the Weave is probably one of the best late game. Early game, we'd like the Haste Helmet for the extra movement speed. And we have to use light armor, or a specific choice for the Helldusk. I don't ever use this, but it fits actually perfectly here. It feels like a Necromancer's kind of armor. But early game, or even late game, the Robe of the Weave can work well with mage armor. And you can even use something like whatever you got for best available clothing or light armor with mage armor. That's going to give you a decent survivability, but we also have summons. Now, Helldusk Gloves, I guess, and Kalauka Protection. Boots of Stormy Clamor, because we can apply a lot of conditions here. You'd also go with the Evasive Shoes, the Wondrous Gloves, another choice here, and whatever cloak available. I have the Amulet Health that gives us 122 health, although there is other choices here, like the Periapta Wound Closure, which I guess you do get from a certain ability here. Even Amulet of Restoration can give you some healing to keep your summons alive if you want to go that route. We also got, I think the best ring would be the Crypt Lord ring, gives you a free undead summon, which is just perfect here. And also the Ring of Protection for the armor class boost. Now the Staff of Cherished Necromancy is huge because this will give enemies disadvantage on the saving throw against necromancy spells, which is kind of essential for this build. And then whenever you take out an enemy, you get Life Essence, giving you a free casting of something like Circle of Death, which is why I took it over our other spells, because you basically get to free cast that. And then also the Hellrider Longbow will give us a +3 to our initiative, so we ensure that we always go first, so that we can maximize our damage on the first turn of combat. And these animations just look so cool. When it comes to combat, we need to set up somehow, and I would recommend actually to go with something like the Storm of Souls here, which you can create a kind of crowd control bubble here that can target multiple enemies. So we can pop that down holding our concentration. It looks cool too with all these skeletons floating around, which is awesome. So they'll take damage over time. And if we get into that, we also have a, I guess we got abilities to get resistance to radiant damage. And our attacks ignore resistance to necrotic damage and cannot be frightened. And then targets that move inside it can become maimed. When they're maimed, they're stuck, and it restrains them. So they're stuck in that area here, making a great crowd control. We also need to get some soul essence here. So I want to go for whatever easy KO that we can go for here. Whatever is going to hit the most amount of enemies is ideal. So something like this can hit multiple here. So I'm going to pop that down, hoping for a knockout there. And we were able to get that. So that was good. Which we actually got it with the Call of the Week. So we didn't get the ability to give ourselves the soul essence there. But we do have the Pluck Life here. So we can actually, I should have done that at first. When we mark a target, we regain a 3d8. We're going to do that there. It apply the Pluck Life, so we get a 3d4 health points for taking them out. I unfortunately lost my concentration from getting hit, but we're going to use the Death March here because we have some corpses around, so we can create spectral ghosts or spectral skeletons from these corpses here. They have 15 health, the Death Marchers there. They get the Detonate Self or the Bone Strike. It's kind of cool, so you get some extra support. They don't roll a great initiative, but they can move kind of alongside yourself, which is just a nice additional ability here. So we also want to, I guess, apply our Pluck Life again. So we want to apply it on this target here. Missing. And then I'll use the Death Ray here, which you can upcast for an extra D8 of damage. You can also blast this at a corpse too to make the corpse explode. But you can see there, it's got a really cool VFX, and that was enough to take it out. And the opportunity attacks, perfect, which apply Bone Chill, which is just nice. Now they get taken down pretty quickly from Valdi there. You can see that was a massive amount of damage and likely going to take out most of them, yeah. So that's the only downside, is if they don't get to move and spread out a bit, they're very easy fodder for something like a volley to hit with. Now this is actually a really good time to use Gravebinder, because this is a 6-meter radius, so we can actually grab everybody here with this. And what Gravebinder does, it makes targets take half of their health points, and then they get basically a bunch of disadvantage, and enemies, whenever we take over the target, we get healing and advantage on our next attacks. We go out, spread them with the Gravebound there, and then we can go ahead with one of our more powerful damaging options. We got the Soul Bomb here, which can explode, and it actually will use, it'll explode in the second turn, so you can go ahead there. Pretty cool. You can grab the corpse, move it like this, so boom, it explodes, and then the corpse is going to explode again at the start of next turn. And it exploded there, but unfortunately the enemy is smart enough to move out of the way of it, so they won't get hit. But that's cool. It's actually something fun that you can use to summon something with. So we're running low on our spells here, so we got to roll with something like a Death Ray or the Storm of Souls, or even the Seance here, which I guess we could hit with a target there. The Pain Puppet's also a nice option for cantrips, and Blood Offering too, which you can hit a target with. Witch's Spill will actually hit an area of effect too, so if you wanted to use that, it's pretty good because it does use your it does use up a spell slot, so you can use it on the lower spell, or if you have less of like level 2 spell slots, you can burn through those a little bit quicker with this. I'll use a level 4 spell slot here because we can hit 3 targets with it. Boom, taking out a couple of them, which is nice. And then this one here has the Bloodlock ability condition, so this will give them disadvantage on Constitution saving throws and attack rolls. Also, this guy took out my summon, so we're going to go ahead here with attacking him. You can actually explode one of these corpses, and then it's going to shoot a beam right at them. So it's another cool way you can utilize that and ragdoll their corpse. Whoa. And for our last bonus action, we'll use Pluck Life on this target here, and we can crit on it, which works. And we pretty much always recover our health, because when we take out enemies, we get our health back. So yeah, we got lots of cool, fun options here. I'm just going to use the Soul Blood Offering there, which gave us the ability to make the target take damage if they were to attack us, which is pretty great. And I guess, yeah, we're running low on spell slots here, but I use all these spells. I'll replenish the spell slots and show the final offering there, but we'll just use the Seance there as a level 1. Boom, it was enough to finish them off. I gotta say, the Blood Offering is extremely powerful because you get it for 10 turns, then the enemies will keep taking damage from attacking you, so you want to use that one as often as possible. The final offering, though, we got the Ascension here, so each ally is healed for an equal amount, equal to your health points maximum, and gain additional action for 1 turn. We also have the final offering, Oblivion. Rend your soul apart in a cataclysm of death. Your body erupts in a violent surge of a necrotic energy, exploding in a 9-meter radius. And the Dread Wake, which enemies become feared, no realm but their true sense of mortality. So I will show off this one here, the final offering. We'll go with the Oblivion here, which will, I guess I'll take into combat first. Now the VFX on this one are pretty cool, so we go ahead here, we're going to confirm, and this will explode ourselves and deal a massive amount of damage to the enemies in range. So there we go, create that big explosion, and then we become our dusted self from Avengers Endgame. So yeah, you're like that for 3 turns until you reclaim yourself, turning back into human again. But yeah, you saw that there, it did a lot of damage. So that is the DAWNSTAR'S Necromancy spells mod. Highly recommend checking this out. It's now available on console, so everyone can play with this, and it's just incredible mod overall. Let me know, though, your favorite thing about DAWNSTAR'S Necromancy spells. Hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already. I hope you have a great day. We'll catch y'all in the next video.